Welcome to Southern Perspective, Episode 5. This is a debrief with context of South Glengarry's October 27th Council meeting of 2025. Today, Mayor Lachlan McDonald unpacks this meeting which was heavily focused on consultation, transparency, and balancing community priorities. So the council dealt with agricultural concerns, water infrastructure, planning, recreation fees, and specialized service agreements.
Yes.
So welcome.
Well, thank you very much for having me back.
So,
Sorry, my hands are cold.
It's all good. It's all good. So I'm going to start with tree planting consultation and agricultural concerns. So the Glengarry Federation of Agriculture raised strong objections to the county's tree planting program. They cited a lack of consultation and risks to farmland productivity and infrastructure. So council unanimously supported pausing the project until better consultation occurs. My question is, why was council unanimous in supporting the GFA's concern over the tree planting project?
Okay. I can't speak individually, but as a whole, I would say one, wasn't done neighborly, and then two, it was, we just wanted to pause to say, think about what we're doing and how we're doing it. So this particular issue came up, planted 3 feet, the counties, so Deputy Mayor Lang and I represent the counties, 3 feet from a few property borders on the west side of the road. And the trees that were selected would be like oak and maple, and the concerns that the farmers had were that it would go in rector tile drainage, and as well note, the shade as it grows up will also affect their yield for about 20 to 50 feet. So what's that, 6 meters to 20 meters approximately. So we thought we could do a little bit better at letting them know what's happening.
So a little bit more consultation with the public or the folks involved or folks nearby, I guess.
Yes, the adjacent farmers to the county-owned land is who we're looking to have a conversation with. And that's why the pause was, just to make sure it's clear and we're neighborly in the way we do it.
Okay. Do you have many trees that you're planning to plant, or is there?
Yes, they've already been planted actually.
Okay.
And that's what got the GFA Duncan Ferguson involved because some of his membership was saying, "Hey, we don't want this. There's negative things. They're planted underneath wires like hydro lines."
Okay.
So think of the future maintenance and the future costs of the farmers, and it's an interesting conversation. I had Councillor McDonald, as you'll note later, brought a motion forward to do such and to formalize the pausing.
Okay.
Him and I had a good, I'd say 3-minute talk, but it was more like 20 minutes back and forth and impassioned because we both want the same thing, and I think that's why I say neighborly. We just need to approach these things neighborly, right?
Yeah.
We don't always have to agree, but we have to be kind when we disagree.
Okay, all right. So water financial plan for 2025 to 2034. So you endorsed a long-term water financial plan required for drinking water licensing, ensuring sustainability and compliance with provincial standards. So why is this water financial plan so important for South Glengarry, and how does it prepare the township for future costs? I mean, this goes to 2034, so we're talking close to 10 years, right?
Yes. So sustainability is the answer. The financial sustainability of the system, so that the rates go up consistently, so people know what's coming. We had talked previous episode about water portion going up 7% per year from 2027 onward.
Okay.
And then 2027 onward, the wastewater would be 8%.
Okay.
So we're talking like $30 every 2 months more over time. But the one that we were talking about specifically,
which is reasonable considering all the inflation going on anyways. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. When you, it seems like a lot, but when you break it down, it's a few cups of coffee or a case of beer. Sometimes people like to say a bag of milk.
Yeah.
So I don't know the exact numbers on that, but specifically for 2026, administration came forward and said they're going to increase it 5%.
Okay.
The previous study said 3%, and admin can up it to 5% without council's knowledge, without council resolution, but they wanted us to be aware of it, and it made sense since we're at a 3% our current one, but it's looking 7 to 8, so it's kind of bridging that gap slowly.
Okay. Right. So arena ice rental fees. So the adoption of comprehensive fee bylaws prompted some debate on arena ice rentals. the rates themselves, balancing affordability for youth sports and financial sustainability. Now, what message does council want to send to family and sports organizations about recreation, and how could alternative funding or subsidies be considered to support youth program? I'm pretty sure there was the same thing in Alexandria, where there was a pause as well for some, the minor hockey association, and you
Yes.
know, things cost quite a bit, especially for when you're traveling with hockey. But the arena fees per se. Can you say more about that?
Yeah, so I'll go a little bit into it. So cut me off if you see me on a tangent. One would be there was conversation in the community groups, particularly the youth users, like our hockey club, our skating club, our Optimist club also reached out to us. Um, our rates went up $5 per hour. So the Optimist rate right now is $65,
Okay.
and it was previously 60, and that will apply for next ice season.
Is this for this season or for next season?
It's for the next season. Yeah,
Okay.
we won't change it. So they have a summer to
Okay.
not a summer, a registration, right? We'd hate
Yeah.
to change the numbers before registration. So that's one item. Two, youth. We do support youth, and Deputy Mayor Lang said it very well when he mentioned, because I think our rates are going to 205 for prime time, but our youth programs are at 145, so there already is baked into that $60 an hour difference. Councillor Jaworski actually asked for a little bit more information, which we received prior to the meeting. It wasn't on the agenda, but it just showed the amount of taxation that goes into funding just the arena without administration costs included.
Okay.
And it is getting higher. I'd say 60 to 70% of our arena is covered by taxation,
Okay.
and 30% by user fees. So we're trying to find that fair balance of we want recreation. Other recreation is provided through taxation, but we also need to balance it with being fair to those residents who cannot play sports, especially on ice sports, because every dollar you spend, and I hope it doesn't sound too rude, is every dollar you spend subsidizing through taxation the arena is making everybody pay. Whereas so the people who can afford skates are getting subsidized by some people who cannot. So it's that balance. So we're willing to put taxation into it. It's just how much. And
Yeah, but just sort of a balance between user pay and taxation per se.
yes, yeah, and like personally, I try to say like user fees do make sense to me as much as possible, because those who benefit the most should have the biggest financial burden. But I also appreciate that we want to keep it inclusive, because the higher we go, the harder it is for people to get involved. And we've seen that in North Glengarry with minor hockey taking a 2-year pause while they reflect on how to make it work. And we don't want to find ourselves in that situation.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So specialized rescue services with the Ottawa Fire. Council approved an agreement with Ottawa Fire Services for specialized rescue capabilities. So they're called, for example, high angle or confined space rescues. So what kind of emergency service does this agreement prepare for the local for the township?
Yes.
Per se.
So there's a decent sized list. Ottawa Services can obviously provide more than our volunteer base, because they're full time in a bigger city. One was a grain bin rescue, is one that I noted the highlight. And the big thing here is it's pay per use. So it's like a mutual aid agreement, which we already have with North Glengarry, St. Telesphore, Riviera Baudette, South Stormont, Cornwall, and all our neighboring municipalities have it. It's just formalizing it. And what it is when we need those specialized services, there's a fee schedule so that they can charge us for it. So that's the crux of it. But again, it's I used an example during the meeting. It's like ice at a store, right? If you're buying ice for your beverages, you're willing to pay $3. If you're buying ice for, say, some middle, like a wedding thing, you're probably willing to pay $6 a bag. But if you're an ambulance with a heart transplant, you're willing to pay as much as you want. So like the prices do seem like they're fair, and they will be charged when we need them. And when we need them is in an emergency. So we're happy to have that service level increase and only pay for it per use.
So do the Ottawa rescue services do come from Ottawa when there is a need from here for here?
Yes, and this formalizes it, because you never know the changing like the ebbs and flows of council or even like a fire chief and those relations. So we have it formalized now. There's a fee schedule, and if we need them, they will come, and the fee schedule's there.
Okay. So environmental stewardship with some local input. So council passed a resolution emphasizing that environmental initiatives like the reforestation must be aligned with land use realities. I guess that's sort of touching on what
Yes.
we're talking. So drainage systems, maintenance capacity. So it shows, it shows willingness of council to support ecological projects while ensuring they're not rooted in, they are rooted in local consultation and practice reality. So my question, with this in mind, how can residents and landowners play a stronger role in shaping the initiatives per se, and what lessons should we taken with the tree planting issue itself?
Okay. So yeah, this goes back to the GFA presentation. I believe this is on the resolution. So to answer your question on how residents can get involved, well, we're coming up to an election in less than a year. So
Okay.
get out and vote, or put your name forward. I'll just talk to anybody. If there are any potential candidates out there, feel free to reach out to me. I have everything archived, so I can go through the whole 4 years to tell you what to get ready for. But like running for election, you can get involved, coming to our meetings, voting who you think represents you, what you mean. The Glengarry Federation of Agriculture did a good job. You can always delegate to our council. That is free at my discretion. So as long as it's reasonable, we very rarely say no to delegations.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then whenever you say balancing like the environment as well as good practice, that's I think we had a conversation at that council just to go further into it. Now that it's coming to ask twice would be like negative externalities, right? This is my opinion, so this is not the opinion of council. So
that's the point of being here.
so the conversation would be, and I like it's fun to balance it, right? So I don't believe in everything I'm saying. I'm just trying to play devil's advocate a bit. Whenever I knocked on doors, I was an advocate of farmland and landowner rights. So like they own the land, they can do what they wish. In this case, the county owns the land, so they can do what they wish with that same thought, right?
Okay. Yeah.
But there are negative externalities. So like if we're planting, we might get decrease their crop yield. We may hit their tile drainage, as well as maintenance issues under the lines, as well as dropping on the field. The counterpoint to that would be this open land also has negative externalities whenever wind drifts come through.
Okay.
So like a snow event used to be one day and done, and now with wind drifts, you can have 3 days of plowing. So there's a cost if we put the trees here to the farmer, and there's also a cost to the empty or open fields to every citizen. So like we're talking negative externalities, and the opinion that like this is my land on both sides, and kind of say like I don't need to listen to you because it's my land. I don't like that, and that's why we say neighborly, right? Like there's probably a solution where we're not impinging on the farmers' crop yields, and maybe they leave 4 rows of corn 100 feet back and have a windrow, which would decrease the amount of snow across. So that would be to me a win-win. So that's like my opinion. And
so with this in mind, is this something like these conversations, are they going to be part of sort of whatever the reforestation or the environmental stewardship? Those are going to be sort of kept in mind as the township sort of has, so
as long as I'm there, I think there's a fair balance. Yes. So that it will happen at the county level because they're the ones who kind of they planted the trees already, and it caused the I don't want to say uproar, but caused the complaints coming in.
Yeah.
So like that's how I feel about it. So I would hope council. I know there's some farm leaning as well as well, we're all pretty farm leaning. We're rural, all of us. So I hope there's a neighborly solution where we all look at each other and say like, yes, it's your land. Yes, it's our land. Let's make this work best for everybody.
Makes sense. So infrastructure standards and road costs. So there's updates on county road projects. It highlighted how evolving standards, like for wider shoulders, higher safety requirements. We've all seen, all of these things, especially the wider shoulders. They drive up some costs because it's obviously more real estate. So council discussed advocating for varied standard to balance safety with financial constraints, illustrating the tension between the infrastructure quality and the fiscal responsibility. So my question to you would be, the road upgrades are becoming more and more expensive under these evolving standards.
Yes.
So how should South Glengarry advocate for realistic approaches with its road partners?
Yes. So that a lot of that summary was from a comment I made, so I can own that one. Is we'll take County Road 22 for example, leaving Maxville westward towards. Oh, does it go towards Finch? Well, westward.
Okay.
We'll say into North Stormont.
Okay.
Anyhow, that road was a certain size, and the counties have a model where they develop every road to a county standard.
Okay.
And my question to our council, and then maybe even our citizenry, is like, does every county road need to be to that larger standard? Because you go wider, you pave more, you have like, more is more.
So who decides on the standards per se? Is it
At the county level.
at the county
So
level?
that would be for us.
So there would
Deputy
have to
Mayor
be
Lachlan and myself.
a discussion with the counties
Yes.
to actually see if those standards are they're absolutely necessary
Yes,
to implement.
exactly. And I was asking our council if you'd like me to advocate for that. It's something to think about, because at our lower tiers, like if you drive your township roads, North Glengarry or South Glengarry, there's gravel, there's surface treatment, there's asphalt, and then there's some that are mixed, right? Whereas the county roads are all this size with paved shoulders once they get upgraded. Like there are some county roads that could maybe fit a smaller model if they have lower traffic, and that would save all of the taxpayers, because a portion of your North or South Glengarry taxes do go to the counties. So it was just the conversation to my council was, if you wish me to advocate for this, I can.
Okay,
Yep.
that makes sense. So, is there anything else you'd like to touch on for this segment?
No, not necessarily. Is there anything you can think of?
No. Well, one of the things is we had discussed this over some emails, and we're going to be asking the public. So if they want to weigh in on Southern perspective, so we're going to be asking the public to put forth. This is on social media. One question. We'll start one question per episode. Okay. That you can ask Mayor McDonald, and we ask that the questions be relevant, concise, and respectful. That's from my perspective. I mean, no sort of angry armchair quarterbacks, as I call them. That's we can ask questions, and it sort of saves you a trip to go to the meeting if you want to say. You can have it on here and publicly. So we do want to give the people of Glengarry, in this case South Glengarry, a voice that can be broadcast on this channel, on Glengarry TV. So watch for the posts on social media. You're probably going to see a post where we took a photo this morning where Lachlan is pointing to sort of ask me a question.
Yep.
And because we do want to get the issues that matter to Glengarrians, to the local politicians so that they can comment on them, and sometimes it's just a clarification of sorts. So I thank you very much for stopping by.
Thank you for having me.
Episode 5, very happy to be rolling on this. Thanks for watching. Spread the word, and as people say on YouTube, smash that subscribe button. All those subscriptions do help us sort of get out there and get the word out. So thank you for watching, and have a good day.